Jake bought a rental property. Sarah did nothing. 3 years later, he called me. Sarah put the same money into index funds. Jake has a tenant, a mortgage, and a story to tell at every dinner party. Sarah has a brokerage app. Nobody asks her about anything. 3 years later, Jake calls me. His tenant hasn't paid in 2 months. The roof just failed an inspection. $8,500. Property tax went up. Again. And somewhere between those calls, for the first time, he opened Sarah's portfolio. She hasn't done a single thing. No calls, no repairs, no weekends lost. And her account is ahead of his. Jake goes quiet on the phone. Then he asks the one question nobody wants to ask. Did I make a mistake? The answer isn't simple, but it's worth knowing. Let's go back to the beginning and make this honest. Jake and Sarah both start with $50,000. Same job, same city, same income. $65,000 a year. One decision separates them. Jake uses it as a down payment on a $250,000 rental. 30-year mortgage, 7% interest, monthly payment $1,330. He finds a tenant, $1,800 a month in rent. On paper, he's making $470 a month. He can drive past it, point at it, say, "That's mine." People get it. Real estate. That sounds like money. Sarah takes the same $50,000 and puts it into index funds. No leverage, no tenants, no keys. Just numbers on a screen that barely move at first. Nothing feels like it's happening for Sarah. But here's what nobody tells Jake on day one. That $470 isn't real. Property tax, $250 a month. Insurance, $125. Maintenance, budget at least $2,500 to $5,000 every single year. That profit is already gone before anything breaks. And then something breaks. Water heater, $1,500. HVAC, $8,000. Roof, $10,000, easy. One bad month erases an entire year of profit. Then the tenant leaves. 1 month empty, $1,800 gone. Bad tenant, 3 months, 6 months, no rent. That's $5,000, $10,000, gone. Plus legal fees to remove them. And Jake is not making money anymore. He is covering losses. This is where most people still think Jake is winning. He's not. But here is the part that never makes it into the conversation. Time. 2 hours a week managing this. Sometimes 5. Sometimes 10. Calls at night. Repairs on weekends. This is not passive income. If your investment needs your time every week, it's not passive. It's employment. Meanwhile, Sarah does nothing. Year 1, $50,000 becomes $55,000. Year 2, $61,000. Slow. Boring. Feels like nothing. But she is not standing still. By year 5, Jake has dealt with 2 tenant turnovers, 1 roof, 1 HVAC unit, and more weekends than he can count. His return? Maybe 3 to 5%. Not bad, but not what the idea promised. Sarah's portfolio quietly crosses $80,000, then $100,000. And then something shifts. The growth stops coming from what she adds. It starts coming from what's already there. Compounding doesn't announce itself. It just quietly does its work. By year 10, Jake's house is worth around $350,000. His equity? Roughly $170,000. That is real money. That is a real asset. But it came with debt, stress, effort, and a decade of phone calls. Sarah's portfolio? Somewhere between $130,000 and $160,000. Less than Jake, but she managed nothing, fixed nothing, answered nothing. And from year 10 onward, everything separates. By year 20, Jake's property might be worth $450,000 to $500,000. After 2 decades of costs, repairs, vacancies, his real extra profit may be $50,000 to $80,000. Sarah's portfolio? $300,000 to $400,000. No debt, no tenants, no repairs, and if she simply increased her monthly investment from $300 to $500, that number crosses $500,000. Because in the market, time multiplies money quietly. In real estate, growth multiplies effort loudly. Now let's be fair to both. Real estate has real advantages: leverage, tax benefits, control over the asset. In the right deal, in the right market, it can beat everything. And index funds are not safe from pain. 30% crashes happen, and most people panic and sell at exactly the wrong moment. So this is not about which one wins. It is about what you are actually optimizing for. Jake built an asset. Sarah built a system. Jake owns a house. Sarah owns her time. And 3 years in, on that phone call, Jake wasn't really asking about returns. He was asking whether the stress was supposed to be part of the deal. Nobody told him it was, because the numbers matter, but what they cost you to earn them matters more.